What's happening, people? This is Anup, Master Teacher of Science here with Antu. A very warm welcome to all of you guys out there. I hope that all of you guys are doing good and taking care of yourself. This here is going to be session number 9 of Light Chapter, wherein we will be looking at some of the most important terms that is related to your spherical lenses. So that is what we're going to be doing today, and this particular session is going to be super important because if you understand this particular session, you'll be able to understand everything that goes ahead. This is the basic foundation which you have to make it strong so as to understand what we'll be doing in the future. So once again, this is Anup and welcome to Vedantu 9th and 10th English channel. With that said, people, without wasting any more time, let's get right into the topic for today. But as always, guys, there is a quote waiting for you guys, and this quote for today is this: if you want to be powerful, educate yourself. There's no tool that is more powerful than knowledge. That is so true, people. Money can come today and leave tomorrow, but the knowledge that you have is going to stay with you until the end of your life, and that is something that you have to hold on to and try to gain knowledge, not only in the aspect of in terms of your CBSE syllabus, but about life as well. Wherever you get a chance to learn, do not miss out that opportunity. Take that opportunity up and try to learn as much as you can. All right. Anyways, with that said, people, let us get into today's topic, which is nothing but spherical lenses and their components. So in the last session, that is the session number 8, I'd actually given you homework. This was basically the question: refractive index of a medium P is equal to 15 and another medium is Q is equal to 1.75. Which of the two is the denser medium? And the answer to this question, people, would be Q. Why so? More is the refractive index. The greater the refractive index, the denser the medium, and hence Q would be the right answer, where obviously 1.75 is definitely greater than 1.5, and so Q would be the right answer. Simple? Good. Alright, guys, I hope that all of you guys got this right answer, because it is a simple question, but you should be able to get all these answers correct, people, because your exams are approaching. And sorry about blabbering. Yes, your exams are approaching pretty soon, and you have to be prepared about all of these questions. With that said, let's get into today's session, which is nothing but spherical lenses and their components. Alright, first of all, guys, what is a lens? A lens is nothing but a transparent medium, which means that a transparent medium is a medium that allows all the light to pass through them. So it's a transparent medium with at least one curved surface, or at least one spherical surface. That is what is called as a lens. If it has at least one spherical surface and it's a transparent medium, then you call it as lens. Then you have, or you give a separate name to it called as lens. Now, there are two types of lenses. You have something called as a concave lens and something called as a convex lens. This here is what a convex lens would look like. Now I'll explain what it is. I'm pretty sure that every one of you guys already know about all of these by now. You should be knowing it. So this is going to be a good revision for you guys to, get all your neurons and all working. I hope I'm saying it right. Please don't scold me in the chat box. Anyways, this here is a concave lens, and this is what it would actually look like. So if you look at the clear difference, you can see that the convex lens is a little thick in the middle, whereas the concave lens, on the other hand, looks thick on the edges. Now this here is going to be the major difference that you have to be focusing on when you understand about convex lens as well as a concave lens. So when you talk about a concave lens, it's one in which the middle part of it is actually thin and the edges are actually thicker, and that's how you define, or that's how a convex lens is named as a convex lens. When the middle is thin and the edges are thick, you call it as a concave lens. It's caving inside. On the other hand, if you talk about a convex lens, it's going to be thick in the middle and thin at the edges. Just the opposite: thick, thin, thin, thin. All right, thick, thin. Yeah. So yeah, I can make a song out of it. But then, yes, once again, people, a concave lens is one which is thin in the middle and thick at the edges, whereas a convex lens, on the other hand, is thick in the middle and thin at the edges. Done, done, done. All right. Now, here's the thing, guys. Both concave as well as convex lenses, they are both made up of, or a part of, two different spheres. So if I take two spherical spheres, or spherical surface, or two spheres, if I overlap one another, like this is one sphere, this is another sphere. So if I overlap one another, like making like a Venn diagram, you get what is called as your convex lens. On the other hand, the same two spherical spheres, if I'm a little bit of space in between them, not exactly touching each other, that there becomes your concave lens. So this is what it is, people. So a lens is said to be part of two different spheres. One where you see that they're basically overlapping, and the other there's a little space in between them, although you don't have to say that when you're defining it, you just have to remember that they're part of two different spherical spheres. That's it. All right, now talking about the part of the lenses. Now this is where you have to pay super duper attention, because these things, the chapter for today or the video for today is going to be super short, but it's going to be super important because you have to understand these terms so as to understand your ray diagrams and everything. And you know by now that light is a chapter that carries a lot of marks, and ray diagrams are super duper important. So paying attention is very, very important. Alright, so parts of the lenses. What are the different parts of the lenses? So like I told you guys, I told you that these both concave as well as convex lenses, both are part of two different spherical spheres. So the center of the sphere, because obviously it's a sphere, that means it's a circle. It's basically a 2D circle. I mean, it's a 3D circle. So I have a center to that, right? Both the spherical spheres would have a center to it. That center from which the lens is made from, or that center of the spherical sphere from which the lens is a part of, that is called as the center of curvature. The center of the sphere from which both the concave as well as convex lenses are made up of, that is called as the center of curvature, which is represented by the letter capital C. So you have two, C1 and C2, because it's a part of two different spheres. Simple. So that there is nothing but the center of curvature. The center of the sphere is called as the center of curvature. The second term is nothing but, obviously if it is a circle, it should have a radius as well, which means that the distance from the center to any point on that would be the same, and that distance or that radius of the sphere is called as the radius of curvature, which is represented by the letter R. So you have center of curvature and then you have radius of curvature. Center of curvature is the center of the sphere, or the center of the sphere that the lens is a part of, and the radius of curvature is nothing but the radius of the sphere of which the lens is a part of. Simple, or the lens is made from. Third thing that you have to remember is nothing but the optic center. Optic center is nothing but the geometric center of the concave as well as the convex lenses. So obviously it's a symmetrical figure. Both of these are symmetrical in nature. So the center of that, the geometric center of both the concave lens as well as the convex lens, that is called as the optic center. That there is called as the optic center, which is generally in the center. Obviously it's the geometric center, so it's going to be exactly at the center of both these lenses. And fourth, but definitely not the least, you also need to know about the aperture of the lens as well. Now this is a very common term that we use, especially when you buy smartphones, like 1.2 aperture, 1.4 aperture. You've probably heard this, right? f1.2, f1.4, you've probably heard this. Now, what is this aperture? The aperture is nothing but the entire surface where the light can fall and refract. The complete refracting surface, wherever light can fall and refract, that is called as the aperture of the lens. So the bigger the aperture, the more light it can take in, or the more light can incident on it. That's all. So what is the aperture? The complete refracting surface, or the entire surface on which light would fall and refract, that there is the aperture. Again, bigger the aperture, more the light can fall on it, so the better the image would also be. Simple. The last but definitely not the least is nothing but the principal axis, which is nothing but a straight line that passes through the optic center as well as the center of curvature, or in other words, the line that, an imaginary line that just passes through the center of curvature, or the two the centers, or the center of curvatures and the optic center, that there is called as the principal axis. For both concave as well as convex lenses, now whatever terms I've just told you right now, that holds true for both concave and convex lenses. It's not like for concave it's different and for convex it's different. There's going to be a little difference, obviously. That is why we have to study about all of these, but those differences we'll be studying in the sessions ahead, so not to worry about that as well, guys. So in conclusion, what did we see so far? There are 5 important parts of the lenses that you must remember. First is the center of curvature, which is nothing but the center of the sphere. Radius of curvature is nothing but the radius of the sphere. Optic center is nothing but the optical center. The optic center is nothing but the center, the geometric center of the lens. Aperture is nothing but the complete refracting surface, and the principal axis is nothing but the straight line that joins both the center of curvatures. That's all guys. Remember these terms, and trust me people, the entire chapter would get a lot more easier as we go ahead, because these terms is going to set you up for the sessions ahead as well. So I hope you guys understood this so far. Before we get into the quiz and everything else, do not forget to subscribe to the channel. Do not forget to like. Do not forget to hit the bell icon. Yes, I think it's called as the bell icon. And yes, do everything that is needed. Share the video. Let your friends also know that there is a Vedantu 9th and 10th English channel happening. So thank you people. With that said, let's get into the questions. But before that, I have a super duper surprise for you guys. Trust me guys, this is something that's going to make you super duper happier. Thing is, we have some amazing news for you guys. I'll tell you what the news is. But before that, let me tell you something important. Now people, you know that things have changed, right? Like in the past 9-10 months, your life has changed a lot. Maybe for the good, maybe for the bad, but it has changed. You have to accept it. Now, there are a lot of problems that you guys are facing at this point, especially the ones who are going to give you board exams. There are a lot of tons and tons of problems that you guys are facing these days when it comes to studies, because everything has changed. Everything has become online now. So these are the things that you guys came up with and told us that, sir, these are the problems that we are facing. Help us find a solution. So let me tell you what are the problems first. First one, doubts, because you know the deal. Your friends are at home. Your teacher is at home. So getting your doubts cleared has become a very big problem. Secondly, notes, because it's not every day that you can download the notes that the teacher is teaching and read it every now and a while, because it happens that guys that you are studying from a lot of YouTube channels and a lot of websites, but sometimes or majority of the times you're not able to download the notes and you're not able to refer to what the teacher has written on the board. So that's a very big problem. Thirdly, tests and assignments, because yes, who wants to go and sit in the exam hall without practicing? You want to practice. You want to be 100% sure. You want to score that 90%. You have to practice. There's no way around it. So how do you practice those tests and assignments? Fourthly, competitive exams, because I'm pretty sure that you guys are looking forward for your NTSs and KVPMI and ISOs and NSOs and whatnot. So how do you prepare yourself for these competitive exams? Fifth, choice of your own schedule, because yes, people, I know that some of you guys don't feel like studying at 5 o'clock in the evening. Some of you guys might feel like studying at 9 in the night. Some of you guys might feel like studying at 2 in the afternoon. So there's this big conflict of schedule that's happening. When you want the teacher to be there, you're not, the teacher's not free, and when the teacher's free, you're not free. So there's this big conflict of schedule also happening. And finally guys, choice of your own language. You want to learn a language that you're comfortable in, not a language that is forced down your throat, right? You want to study in a language that you're comfortable in. So these are the problems. Now, where's the solution, right? You must be asking, sir, where's the solution? Don't worry people, we're there, no? We at Vedantu are proud to say this, guys. We've solved all of your problems. You know how? Inside our online sessions, you will not just have the master teacher, who obviously will be teaching you the concept. Someone like me, or someone like me, will be teaching the concept. He'll be helping you understand the concepts and helping you clear your doubts. But apart from this, you will also have someone called as a class teacher. And the class teacher's job is to make sure your doubts are cleared inside the class itself. So you don't walk out of the class with more confusions. Instead, you walk out of the class with a clear thought of mind, having cleared all your doubts and having understood the concept. Second, you can download all the notes and watch every recording of each and every session. Everything is recorded. You can download all the notes. So if in case you miss out a class, let's say there's an emergency and you miss out a class, do not worry people, we've got you covered. You can always watch the recording and see what happened in the last session, which is something that you would love. Next, tests and assignments. You have regular tests and assignments. Every month you'll have a test. At the end of every chapter you have a test. And in every session, you'll also have quizzes. Yes, people. Everything. Just to make you people more and more into understanding the concept, and the more tests you take, the better it is, the better you get at the subject as well. You'll be trained for your competitive exams as well. Whatever competitive exams you're planning to take up, you'll be trained for that as well. You can choose your own schedule, and that's one of the best parts. You don't have to come to the teacher's convenience. You can do whatever whenever you feel like studying. You want to study at 10 in the night, go ahead guys, because live classes are going on 24/7. Whenever you feel like studying, either watch the recording or you can attend the sessions as well. So it's totally up to you guys. Now it's not that sessions are happening, not all the time that sessions are happening at 10, but if you're someone who wants to study late night as well, you can always watch the recording and get to know as well guys. And live sessions are happening throughout the day, so whenever you feel like studying, you can choose that time to study that particular concept. And finally guys, you can choose your own language. At this point of time, you can't say that we are providing all regional languages, because there are tons and tons of regional languages. But at this point of time, guys, we are offering sessions in both English as well as in Hindi. So if you're someone who's comfortable with Hindi, then you can join that batch. If you're someone who's comfortable with English, then you can do that as well. There's no compulsion. There is no you're not force-fed anything. It's totally your choice, and trust me people, you would love the sessions. And apart from all of these, you have unlimited live classes, all micro courses and crash courses for free, and performance report card. Like I told you, for your tests and assignments that you take, you get a detailed performance report card as well, and personalized attention. All you have to do guys is click on the link that is given in the description. And like I told you guys, this is your Diwali Dhamaka. All the courses which I'll be talking about today have been given a flat 50% discount. Whatever courses I'm going to pitch right now, whatever I'm going to tell you right now, is 50% off, and this is only for till 11th of November. After that, the offer runs out, and again it'll go back to its original price. So do not miss out on this opportunity. So let me tell you what it is. Let's say if you click on that link, they'll take you to a page that looks like this. They'll ask you which grade do you belong to. You have choices from 1 to 12th grade, because at this point of time, Vedanta is offering class from 1 to 12th grade. Let's say you're in 10th grade. Once you choose this option, they'll ask you which board do you belong to. Are you in CBSE, ICSE or Maharashtra? Let's say that you're in CBSE or ICSE. You click on that option. This is what you're going to get. Everything that I just told you in one glance. You can pause the video and read it if you want to, or visit the website and take a look at this as well. So what you have to do is click on get subscription. Once you click on get subscription, this is where the magic happens, people. Let's say you want to go for the 1 month program. See how it goes for the next 30 days and decide whether you want to do it or not. Now the base price of that 1 month program is 4,000 rupees, which I know is a lot of money. Personally, I know that it's a lot of money, but people, you get a primary discount on that, and the price comes down to 2,699. Now that still seems like a lot, right? But people, if you use the coupon code AMEPRO, that is, I'm talking till 11th of November, you get 50% discount on that. So you get additional 1,349 rupees discount, and what you'll be paying for the next 1 month is just 1,349 rupees for the whole month. Everything that I just told you, all of that for that price. That's an amazing deal. Let's say you want to go for the 3 month program. The base price of that is 10,000 rupees. But don't worry, people, we've got you covered. It'll come down to 6,999. On top of that, if you use the coupon code AMEPRO, again guys, it's only valid till 11th of November. You get additional 3,500 rupees discount, and what you'll be paying is 3,499. Now the original price of this is somewhere around 5,000 rupees without the discount, but with the discount, it's coming down to 3,499 for the next 3 months. The best of the best teachers with the best online platform, that is, with quizzes and all sorts of fun in the activities. You would love the session, guys. I'm telling you again, you'll love it. Let's say you want to go for the 6 month program. The base price of that is 16,000 rupees. Do not worry, guys. The base price comes down to 11,499. On top of that, if you use the coupon code AMEPRO, you get additional 5,749 rupees discount, which is a lot of money. For the next 6 months, you would have just paid 5,749, which is not even 1,000 rupees for a month. That's how less the prices. That is what I'm telling you guys. It's only valid till 11th of November, so avail it as soon as you possibly can. The link is given in the description below, and do not forget the coupon code AMEPRO as well. Put that down to get that 5,000 rupees discount. Make it count, people. Anyways, so that's it, guys. Let's solve some questions now. This is the time that we test how much have we understood in this particular chapter. And every time I tell you this, people, every quiz question that we have, every question and answers that I ask, I want you guys to let me know what is the answer in the comment section below. Whether it's right or wrong, that's secondary. Put it down in the comment section below. Let me know how is the session going. Let me know what, if you have any feedbacks, anything that you have, please let me know so that I know I get to understand what you guys really want. Alright. So anyways, people, let's get into it. Here's the first question. Let me know what is the answer for this in the comment section below. The question is, what is the geometric center of the lens called? Is it called as a pole, optical center, center of curvature, or the aperture? And the answer to this question is the geometric center of the lens is called as the optical center, or in other words, the optic center. Simple, people. That is the answer for this question. Alright, here's the second question. Name the straight line passing through the geometric center of the lens. Is it called as a tangent, principal axis, optical axis, or both? B and C. Let me know what is the answer in the comment section below. Trust me, guys, a lot of you guys might get this wrong, but the answer to this question, however, is option number D. The principal axis is a very common term, but optical axis also means principal axis itself. It's nothing different. Sometimes they might ask, just to confuse you people, just to throw you off your tracks, they might ask you as draw the optical axis, or what is the optical axis. It is nothing but the principal axis, just the other name for it. So the right answer, guys, is option number D. Moving on to the third question. Here's another one. A lens is a transparent medium with a square shape, a triangular shape, both surfaces curved surface, or at least one curved surface. What exactly is a lens? It's a transparent medium with what? The answer, option number D. It should have at least one curved surface. It's not necessary that both the surfaces have to be curved. It can have only one curved surface. It still would be called as a lens, because there are certain lenses called as plano-convex lens or a plano-concave lens. All of these have one plane surface and one concave or convex surfaces. So I mean, those kind of lenses are also lenses ultimately. So you should have at least one curved surface. That is when it's classified as a lens. Fourth question. A lens which is thin at the middle and thick at the edge is what? Concave lens, convex lens, either concave or convex, or can't say. What do you think is the right answer, guys? Very simple question again. A lens which is thin in the middle and thick at the edges. It is nothing but a concave lens. Thin in the middle and thick at the edges is a concave lens, caving inside. And that is the answer, guys. With that said, last question for today. Lenses are made up of how many spherical surfaces? 0, 1, 2, or 3? And the answer to this question is option number C, 2 spherical surfaces. That's all. That is it, guys. But let me know what is your homework as well in the comment section below. Let me know what is the answer for this. How many center of curvatures does a lens have? Let me know what is the answer in the comment section below. Let me see how many of you guys are able to answer this super hard question. How many center of curvatures does a lens have? Let me know in the comment section below. Thank you for joining, people. Once again, one more thing that I want to tell you guys is this, people. This is also very important news. You know that your NTSC preparations are coming up, your NTSC exams are coming up. So we are here to help you out with the NTSC preparation as well. Your eligibility is that you have to be in 10th grade, that's all. And this course starts from 2nd of November, which means it has already started, and it will go on till 13th of December. That is still the date of your exam. And here's the thing, guys. If you want to get trained for your NTSC, or if you prepare for your NTSC, guys, the package is actually around 10,000 rupees, but you have a 90% discount on it, so you will be getting the price down to 999 rupees for your NTSC preparation. And the mock test, if you just want to take a part in the test, it will not be 999 rupees, but it will be just 99 rupees for all the mock tests that you would need to help you prepare for your NTSCs as well. You have a 90% discount on it. So you have the link that is given over here. You have to just pause the video, take a gander at the link, copy paste it, and use the coupon code as well. That is NTSC20 prep and NTSC20 mock if you want to avail that 90% discount as well. Once again, guys, that is it from my side. Leave a like. Do not forget to click on the link that is there in the description below. Do not forget the coupon code AMEPRO. And yes, people, avail the offer. See you guys in the regular sessions. Thank you for joining. Do not forget to like, share, subscribe, do everything that you guys have to do. Thank you for joining. See you guys in the next one. Until the next time we meet, this here is Anup saying adieu for now. Bye bye, guys. Take care.